I'm so excited, so honored to be here because I consider myself kind of outsider because I'm not a major in business or anything related. However, we're offering this kind of experimental course already for by now 4 years each semester. So that's 8 to 9 semesters. My talk, the name, I was not quite clear about the focus. So now I changed the title. Today's this title I would like to share with you is Cultivating a Future B Generation in a Gen Ed Classroom. And this course title is in Chinese is 共创思维与公益企业. And it's not so easy to translate into English, but what we could put together is something like co-innovative thinking and the B cooperation. And I imagine I would like to know where you are, and maybe you don't mind to know where we are. So if you see China, this is a map. Sorry, it's in Chinese. So all the B Corps in China. And where we are is toward the bottom. You see the yellowish light area. That's my colleague helped to put in there. And the green one pointing there is Shantou, is where our university is located. First, hey, what's going on? Oh, I don't know what happened. Sorry. This is about our course. The basic information on the course is a STU, that's Shantou University Gen Ed Common Core course. And also for now in China, something called 一流课程, that's the first grade course. And it's jointly offered by the Center for Global Studies and STU's Special Integrative Thinking Program. Plus, we have 2 invited lecturers, part-time lecturers from B Corp community in China. And the course is open for students from all majors in STU. And the course goals is to equip students.
Would you mind maybe turning the sound down on your computer? Just for now?
I don't know how, if I...
The volume, just...
Yeah, I know that I didn't see it, why it happened. Oh.
It's okay. It's okay. So maybe in the bottom right-hand corner, if you have a PC, there should be a little. I'm talking about your whole computer, the sound of the whole computer. Okay. So at the very bottom, yeah, you should be able to turn the sound off on the computer. Yeah. Oh, well, now we can't hear you. Never mind. Go ahead and just turn it back on. We can't hear you. We can't hear you, Wuming. Can you, whatever you just did with the volume, can you maybe just do it in return, change it back? We can't hear you.
You might not be hearing us either. Professor Wuming, can you hear us? Let me send the chat.
We can't.
maybe you can take over her screen so that way she will know.
Yeah, let me trying to turn it off. All right. Wuming, I've stopped sharing for you. Can you maybe restart your and change your sound? We cannot hear you. What to do? All right, I've sent her a few notes.
Summer, maybe we can move to the next speaker for now, and then
okay, yeah, okay.
And see if we can troubleshoot in the
Okay.
background.
Well, I don't think she knows that this is going on. Wuming, hello, we can't hear you. So, yeah.
I can call the next speaker and maybe
yeah, so we're going to move on to the next speaker. Oh, are you back? Okay.
Can you hear?
There you go. Now we can.
Okay.
Yep. All right. Go ahead and start your presentation again. Sorry.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
What's going on?
All right. So we heard the first two slides.
Yeah.
Now here.
I'm
about
going
us.
to go to next one. I think mostly we're more interested in. This part is about course format and pedagogy. First of all, it's a hybrid with flipped classroom. That's what we do. We don't teach lectures much, but mostly students will work on their projects outside class, and then present what they have done in class and get feedback and continue to work on it. And the discussion we have usually small group and then move to big whole class discussion. And one thing we do pedagogically to help students learn is to use output to enhance input. We want them to learn all the concepts, etc. And we not just give them books, give them things to read, but ask them to do, to share with people, to do promotion activities. Because this, they have to learn on their own and try to do it better. This include the BIA assignment. They need to go pick data from different companies and try to use try them out in a BIA set. They do promotion activities for B Corps, and also it's on campus a few times off campus, but because of COVID situation, so we don't get to go out of campus often. Next one is a project-based learning. The course time 16 weeks, divided almost half for theory concepts, including small exercise, and half of it, the semester students need to form small groups and do their projects. Next thing is collaboration with B Corp community. Here we have co-teaching with B Corp community, and the B Corp surveys what our students need to do, and the BIA test for interested companies or potential future B Corp in China. So this is a general picture of what how our classroom look like. So students sit around, so have a better way to do to have discussion. This is the first week is interactive lecture. After that, we don't do lecture anymore. And our invited lecturers here one person, his nickname is A Cai. He prefers people call him A Cai. He is the co-CEO of Bottle Dream, the 4th B Corp in China. And each semester, he will come once and talk to students directly. And second one is, her name is Zhang Yufei. She is a project manager, supervisor in B Corp China. Her mostly what she does is building better business workshop and a B consultant training. And when she comes, she brings this game, for students to go through, to learn all the BIA content through the game. So that's another way we help students to learn.
Professor Gamin, 1 more minute.
Okay, and what else we do is participate in B Corp activities. This is Earth Day. Last semester we had the workshop. This is B Corp China annual assembly last year, end of last year, we participated in. This is a company in Shantou. Right now in east part of Guangdong province, there's no B Corp, and Shantou, of course, no. But this particular company, they want to be a B Corp. So we are helping them to do BIA test first, and then see in the future they can become one. Okay, that's some of the students' active projects. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dr.
Sorry for the interruption in the middle.
No problem, no problem. You came back. Let me introduce our second speaker, Professor Jing Xu. Professor Jing Xu is a professor of marketing at Wanhua School of Management and Peking University and the chair of the marketing department. She's also the vice director of the Behavioral Science Lab and Wanhua School of Management. And she was the key faculty member in the School of Management to establish a master program in social enterprise back in 2015. Under her leadership, this master program attracted young talents from NGOs, NPOs, and CSR departments of corporations across China. She teaches marketing for social impact to undergrad students in the School of Management, and she emphasized there how marketing helps firms and not-for-profit organizations to generate positive impact on society and the environment. Dr. Jing Xu, please, you can share the slides and the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maria. Let me just share my screen. Is this right?
Perfect.
Okay, great. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, it is my pleasure to share my teaching experiences with fellow scholars and educators in the academic community. Like Maria already introduced, I'm a marketing professor here at Wanhua School of Management, Peking University, Beijing, China. My area is actually in consumer behavior. I am a behavioral researcher. I study how consumers make decisions using psychological theories. So that's my research area. And in terms of teaching, I teach undergraduate and MBA courses here at Wanhua. Actually, in both classes, in both courses that I've taught, I've used B Corp cases to illustrate brands with purposes and consumption for good. Today, I'll be more focusing on my undergraduate teaching experience. So this is a class called Marketing for Social Impact. I started teaching this course since 2018. The interesting thing is that at the beginning, like, in 2018, when I started teaching this course, students read the course title and they thought they were going into a class that teaches how do you use like, for example, KOL, social media marketing, because they thought social impact meant how do you make your name, how do you actually use marketing communications to make your brand more aware by the consumers. But gradually, students start to get the idea, okay, when I mean by social impact, I really mean by purpose, I mean by social values. And that's a good sign, right? So basically, this course focuses on a variety of marketing strategies and functions or programs firms and organizations use to generate positive social impact and achieve sustainability. So the format of the class, we actually use multiple ways. So we have lectures, we have case discussions, we also do field trips. In fact, we have been to some of the B Corps in China, including People's Architecture, and we also invited speakers from like How Bottle and People's Architecture, Alberts, and some other B Corps into my classroom. So through these various methods, students gain a better understanding of how marketing can help drive consumer and societal welfare, innovate for good, and encourage also individuals to do good through behavioral change. So there are really two perspectives building this course. The first one is the organizational perspective. So here we actually focusing on how various corporations and organizations, they situate at the spectrum of social impact depending on their goals and missions. And we kind of analyze and evaluate effectiveness of their marketing programs or initiatives that aim to generate social impact. And the other perspective in this class, we actually take from a more micro individual behavioral perspective. And we study human psychology behind behavioral changing and the decision making. And then we kind of discuss different ways and methods to motivate individuals to change their behavior for good. So for example, through education, persuasion, choice architecture, government sort of regulation law or incentives. These are all various ways that might be effective in helping us to engage in, say, for example, green behavior or pro-social, charity, and also become a more like conscious consumer, so on and so forth, basically engaging for behavior that's good for yourself and also for other people and for the society and for environment. So this class actually starts with a background of why it is actually getting increasingly important for companies as well as for individual consumers to think about purpose, right, from multiple angles. We actually talk about how as we progress with the world economics, but we are actually also facing a lot of negative consequences because of that, societal and environmental consequences. So companies actually see it as an important agenda for them to address. And also from the consumer's perspective, consumers becoming more conscious and sensitive to the consequences of their consumption. So that's how the purpose becoming so important to us. And then we kind of introduce the social impact spectrum, which you're seeing right now on the screen. So this spectrum basically has two ends representing, on the right hand is a mainstream for-profit companies. Their main goal is to actually maximizing shareholders' profits and interest. And on the other end, on the left hand, that basically represent nonprofit organization. Their primary goal is to serve societal needs and create social values. And then we kind of try to position various companies and corporations in between the two ends. So you will see like there are companies engaging cause-related marketing, CSR, and there are socially responsible business such as B Corps and the social enterprise. So B Corps actually basically fitting the kind of where, in the middle of this spectrum. And so basically, when we get into this organizational perspective, I will start from, the right end of the spectrum and talking about, say, for example, companies that use cost-related marketing or CSR marketing as a way to generate social impact. And later on, I will introduce B Corp cases. And B Corp cases are introduced really as a comparison to companies engaged in those CSR or CRM type of marketing practices, because those practices can be unrelated to the core business rather than just used as a way to try to enhance brand image. And basically the primary goal is to induce sales. But B Corps, on the other hand, integrate social and environmental impact into its core mission. And they serve the stakeholder interest rather than just only focusing on the shareholders' interest. So in order, to have the students fully understand what a B Corp is, how it is being certified, I've been actually inviting Minko to give a talk to my class for the past 4 years, actually, which I'm very grateful for. And before the pandemic, Minko was able to come to the class, and she also had the students engage in some like activities, which Professor Zhao was mentioning, the BIA thing and some other games, which was very engaging and very interactive. And students were, through those activities, students get a much better, closer look and understanding of what a B corporation is and how do you get to be one, and how do you have to be certified from time to time, not just the one thing. So that was a very great thing to have. And then when we get into the brands with purposes, especially with B Corps, we typically use case discussion, case teaching method. So in my class, we've had Patagonia and Warby Parker. One is the Harvard Business School case, and the other is, I believe, IMD case. And we delve into deeper issues basically presented in the case, and we have relevant questions with these cases. And in addition to that, we also invite B Corp representative, like people from Allbirds, people from Howbottle, which is a Chinese B Corp. And like I mentioned before, we also visited as a field trip, went to People's Architecture to see their practices in real life.
1 minute.
Okay, sure. I'm closing. So yeah, we talked about the positive effects of these socially responsible brands, like B Corp cases, and these are some things that we went over, and students were able to actually generate a lot of these things. And we also talked about challenges for how do you stay a B Corp. And the last thing I want to share is, I think, the opportunities and challenges that I faced while teaching this case. I think in general, students, the undergrad students are very interested in the topic. And I think they represent the Gen Z population who is actually becoming more and more aware of purpose and aware of consequences of consumption. So they are very engaged in this topic. But the thing is that, we have very limited B Corp cases, Chinese B Corp cases available at the moment. So a lot of times I only use the B Corps in the States or in some other countries, which is a little bit less familiar with Chinese students. So I'm really looking for more interesting B Corp cases to be used in my class, which are mostly about Chinese B Corps. And the last thing I want to say is that B Corp visibility is still not very high among the students. Whenever I teach these cases, I ask them, are they familiar with B Corps? Have they ever heard of this name? A lot of time, only a few, sometimes just 1 or 2 students can say something about B Corps, and they kind of know. But the rest of students, the rest of the class, usually haven't heard about B Corps. So I really wanted to bring this up. So maybe we can talk also about how this can be sort of the B Corp visibility can be enhanced. Thank you so much for my so for your listening. Finish my sharing.
Thank you so much. I was going to write on the chat that NACRA, the North America Case Research Association, has now a Chinese track, so maybe it's an opportunity to write B Corp cases in Chinese there. We can talk later about that. Let me invite our third speaker, Professor Ariana Chang, if you want to start sharing your slides. Professor Chang has spent her formative years in Vancouver and San Francisco, and she's currently based in Taipei. She's a faculty in the Interdisciplinary Studies program at Fanjen Catholic University. Her research focuses on what hinders and supports social change. More specifically, her recent work focused on the impact of CSR in socially stigmatized occupations. She's actually a columnist for CSR at Commonwealth. It's a CR platform in Taiwan. And before, she was a lecturer for New Taipei City Social Enterprise Development Center. As an advocate for inclusivity, she's very passionate about the preservation of endangered cultural heritage. Floor is all yours, Professor Chan.
Hello everyone, I'm Ariana. So I'm a faculty in the Interdisciplinary Studies program, and previously I was with the Business Administration department. Okay, so today I'll be sharing how B Corps are transforming sustainability education. So we know that companies that embrace sustainable business practices have not only emerged exponentially worldwide, but also have dynamic roles in the society's overall transformation. Okay, so sustainability has been placed at a pivotal position on the global agenda. And I think one of the challenges for educators is to ensure that students have a profound understanding about their role and their responsibility in the society. Okay. So Furan was reestablished in Taiwan in 1961, and we seek to cultivate social awareness and human-centered values in our students. So with Furan's long-standing history in social enterprise education and development, so we're the first university in the Greater China region to offer the master's degree in social enterprise. So the Master's in Social Enterprise program focused more on community engagement. And so only a specific group of students, only a specific student group was reached. So then we incepted the B Academy program. Okay, so this program extends our commitment to responsible management education, so beyond the social enterprise program. Okay, and actually one of the first initiatives for the B Academy Furan was to offer the CSR and sustainability course. Okay, so aside from incorporating the B Corp concept into various courses, we also started the B Corp program for our students. So, so together, working with the B Corp community in Taiwan, we try to progress social change and the SDGs. So especially SDG 4, quality education. And actually, quality education, it can also be found in targets of other goals of the SDGs. Okay, so in the classroom, so far, the B Corp concept has been incorporated into many courses. So here are divided sustainability focused and sustainability inclusive. So this is referencing from the STARS framework. So it's a self-reporting framework for universities to measure sustainability performance. So sustainability focused, there's a primary and explicit focus on sustainable development, whereas sustainability inclusive. So for these courses, it touches on sustainability issues and challenges. So far we have been incorporating the B Corp concept into business ethics, global indigenous cultures, to topics in social entrepreneurship. Okay. So with the B Corp program, so students have to complete 2 courses, and they have to walk through the BIA with a company of their choice. And so basically there's an annual year-end presentation, the sustainability impact presentation, where they present their findings, their BIA findings. Okay. So far, more than 50 students have graduated from this program. So for the both courses, they have to achieve 85 and above in order to receive the certificate. Okay. Yeah, so for our courses, we introduce them cases, B Corp cases from the various industries. You know, they kind of represent the best practices, and from these B Corps, then they'll also learn about other certifications as well. And so the difference between the sustainability focused courses and the sustainability inclusive courses is that for the sustainability focused courses, we go into a case into detail, okay, and then we'll actually go through the BIA with the students. Okay, so a big part of it is about perspective taking, so that students can have a deeper, more comprehensive understanding of the stakeholders. So with perspective taking, students can also evaluate and assess stakeholder relationships, gain new insights into the complex issues where there are conflicting stakeholder interests. Okay, so we want students to, the new identity sought here is that students can be responsible managers. So for our B Corp program, it's kind of unique because we have undergraduate students and we have MBA students, and we also have EMBA students. So they kind of all mingle, they work together on the BIA together. So the B Corp concept here, it acts as a tool. So with students,
why didn't you go with Jing?
Sorry?
I think it was a mistake. I muted her.
Thank you.
Sorry. Oh, okay. It's a tool where students can understand the various stakeholder relationships with the impact areas being assessed. And so working with the B Corp community, the experience has been extremely rewarding and invaluable. Okay, so I believe that education can serve as an influential vehicle, and the sustainability landscape can be strengthened by co-initiating initiatives with partners such as the B Corp community. Yeah, I think I'm on my last slide. Yes, thank you very much.